What are the hardest challenges across all of gaming? When I say all, yes, I mean all, Farmville included. There's infinite possibilities here. Even the easiest games can contain some of the most difficult challenges. The following nightmares, however, aren't in any order since hard is a subjective term. And when you got GameSpot over here saying,
New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a tough game.
Clearly everyone's experience is different. Keep in mind, this list isn't defined by regular gameplay. Player-made challenges are also included. So what a better place to start than my childhood trauma, catching a Munchlax in Diamond and Pearl. This is ridiculously difficult, and all just for this little guy? In Generation 4, Game Freak said fuck you to any fans who wanted Munchlax, and made catching him virtually impossible without this knowledge. In Gen 4, meaning Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you cannot encounter Munchlax like normal. You gotta lure him out with honey trees. There's only 21 honey trees in the game, and if you click one, you'll be able to slather the honey item and attract Pokemon. The problem here is that only 3 or 4 out of the 21 trees can spawn a Munchlax. And this is completely random based off of 2 things: your trainer ID and your secret ID. The secret ID is hidden from you, so your only bet is to gather 2 of the remaining 4 possible locations using your trainer ID. Nowadays, we have calculators online that do the work, but it's a short math problem to figure out your locations.
Okay, I think I got it. You forgot about the probability!
Now that you have your Munchlax trees slathered, it takes 6 to 24 hours of real time to trigger an encounter. And even then, you only have a 1% chance to spawn a Munchlax. This was literally impossible as a kid. Thankfully, they changed this, and Munchlax is way easier to get in the remakes. But those games are dog shit, so we're out of luck, just like in Tetris. I hope you brought your gloves. The Tetris Killscreen, one of the most elusive challenges in all of gaming. Finally, in late 2023, this challenge was surpassed by a 13-year-old legend, Blue Scooty. There's so many videos that if you want to go in depth, check these out. But my dumbass is gonna break it down simple. Tetris becomes hard as hell at level 29. The pieces fall so fast that it was thought impossible to beat and dubbed the Killscreen. Cheese said fuck all that and came up with rolling, a technique that allows players to mash so unbelievably fast it allows them to keep up with the game. But we aren't done. We aren't even close. The true Killscreen was then discovered, being the level in which the game's code crashes due to a bug, putting the first level possible to be Killscreen at 155. 155! That doesn't even mention how past level 29, the colors get all weird and ugly, sometimes being almost invisible. Once you make it there though, it's not over. There's some probabilities and shit to memorize to make it crash, which Blue Scooty fucked up on his run.
I missed it.
And then had to go to level 157 to trigger the crash. If you don't see how unbelievable this feat is, go play Tetris right now and comment what level you make it to.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. What?
Congrats, Blue Scooty, you absolute hero.
Hey, Editor Skalo here. Fractal161 got the second kill screen after writing, so shout out to him as well.
And since we are already shouting, let's get mad and talk about the worst tutorial ever made. I hate this game. Driver is a game that very few people have ever played. Not because of inaccessibility, but because the tutorial is so goddamn hard. Most people just quit trying to beat it. Look up any tutorial or Reddit post. There's thousands of people with the same story. Got their ass kicked by the tutorial and quit. I can't even make this up, like it was that hard. Clearly, their idea was to teach you all the moves needed to beat the game, which is smart. But wanna know what isn't smart? Putting a ridiculously small timer, car damage counter, and packing you in a parking garage with all these morons in the way.
It's unskippable too, so if you're playing on the PS1, you ain't having no fun.
There's tutorials on how to beat the tutorial. There is a tutorial for the tutorial! Okay, this is actually the best part. Before Google Translate figured out how languages work, you would get this.
At least it was written in your native language. I, as a Ruski 7-year-old, was SOL in that regard.
I feel so bad for these people. Imagine picking up a new game in a language you didn't know and being gatekept by the word slalom. Speaking of gatekeeping, no one does it better than capitalism and the best Chinese clan in Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans is pay to win. I said it and will forever argue it.
我是要用。不给。
I'd also argue that getting a fully maxed base without spending any money on gems is one of the hardest challenges in gaming. The sheer amount of time and resources you need to simply max the level of your buildings, troops, heroes, and walls is ridiculous. Before you start your village upgrades, you need to get resources. You can either wait for your slow-ass gold mines and elixir pumps, or you can decide to go fuck shit up.
Let me in! Let me in!
Alright, we barely scraped by with enough from that attack. The time it takes for the builders to upgrade any building just slowly compounds more and more, and the cycle of gaining resources just to spend them and wait becomes endless. It's build, 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 and finally build some more. According to the info I've put together from Clash Ninja's website, you'll need a grand total of about 9 billion gold, 7 billion elixir, 57 million dark elixir, 5.2 years of lab research time, 1.36 years of hero upgrade time, and 4.92 years of build time to upgrade your village from Town Hall 1 all the way to Town Hall 16. Those stats are with 4 builders, and keep in mind, these times will fluctuate based on your efficiency. Pop quiz! How many gems does it take to speedrun resources and building from Town Hall 1 to Town Hall 16? Did you guess 6,269,116 gems? Or over 40 grand?
That is more than the median income for somebody in the United States. Like, what the hell?
The second hardest challenge in Clash? Gifting troops during a clan war. And don't we all love a good challenge? Like Charlie's Halo 2 Deathless LASO. Halo 2 Legendary on its own is hard, like super hard. Now you introduce skulls and you really put the ASO in LASO. Legendary all skulls on. Another one of those impossible challenges beaten recently by this man, Jervalin. Skulls are modifiers that turn even Master Chief into a little bitch. And you need 13 of the 14 on. Take a look at some of these. More enemy health and shield. Dropped weapons have half the ammo. Enemies become invisible. Are you serious? One of the skulls, Envy, is turned off since it is the only beneficial one, making you invisible. And of course, we can't have that.
Dude, seriously, I know you're there. All right, sorry, partner.
And to top it all off, it's Deathless. So when you inevitably die in Gravemine, sorry man, say hi to this guy.
Let's test your targeting first thing.
Deathless LASO has a really good claim for the hardest challenge in gaming. Only one person completed Charlie's challenge to this date, and it took him 6 months of grinding. Majority of people can't even survive the very first room in the very first level. Everything kills you instantly. Put LASO Master Chief in the ring with a grunt, and he's getting his shit rocked. Jervalin is a god amongst gamers and deserves all the credit, especially that $20,000 paycheck. Without that price incentive, you seriously need to hate yourself to attempt this challenge. He may be the first and last person to ever complete Halo 2 Deathless LASO, but at least he got his trophy.
Hey, where the hell is my Pikachu trophy? Seriously. Did you take it? No.
Super Smash Bros. Melee has 290 collectible trophies, and they all ain't built the same. You get the Maxim Tomato for completing 10 VS matches. Easy as hell. But for Mr. Rossetti, you gotta beat Cruel Melee, and that is borderline evil. What really busts my bells isn't Mr. Rossetti, it's this guy, Diskun. To unlock his trophy, the game requires you to achieve all 249 bonus point categories, which are awarded to players at the end screens of solo or versus matches. Once again, they all ain't built the same. Let me be clear, majority of these will likely occur from just playing with items or having fun completing the story mode. But Celebi, No Damage Clear, Target Master? These are 3 of the hardest things to do in Melee, let alone the other 246. The Celebi bonus point requires you to unlock about everything in the game, then hey, it's only a 1 in 251 chance to spawn him from a Pokeball. Great fucking odds! No Damage Clear requires you to do just that. Clear a solo mode without taking damage. Any damage. And once you and DK have ground pounded your way through classic mode, guess what, dumbass? You still gotta break those damn targets. I once had a dream of fully completing my beloved Melee disc, and after researching this, my dream has ended. Speaking of the ending, this video is ending with where it all began, Rocket League high fives. I never realized how hard they were until my buddy McSnugs pointed it out, sparking this video idea. We made a short on it too, but I'll break it down once more. Rocket League tracks all your stats, like goals, assists, and saves. But there's some weird ones hidden down in the list, like turtle goals or bicycle hits. Out of all, the high five is by far the hardest. All you have to do is hit your teammate though. Simple, right? Wrong. In 24 days of playtime, I only have 5, which compared to most players is a lot. To get a high five, your shitty teammate needs to score. Then be high enough in the air from the goal explosion to be in aerial status as you fly into him. The problem isn't your skill. It's all the other bullshit you have to calculate. You have like 3 seconds to solve this problem. 1, the angle the goal explosion launches everyone. 2, how much boost you need. And 3, predicting whether your teammate will decide to flip in a random direction or not. So if you really want to get a high five, you're gonna need a teammate to deadfish after scoring and hope everything else lines up. It's definitely not the hardest challenge on the list, but without a friend, this one can feel almost impossible at times. On the topic of friends, I'm thinking of turning this into a series, and I want your help. Since there's no way to put every gaming challenge into one video, let me know what traumatized you in the comments, and maybe it'll be covered in part 2. But just remember, I'm not your therapist.